Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ray, and we are here to jump into episode 3 of season 2 of Pit Babe. Alright, so, last episode, or the last couple episodes really, we kind of opened up and got a new status quo on what's happening. At least some answers, but genuinely, like, we have more questions than we had before, obviously. We're still working on trying to find a cure or a way to remove powers. And somebody who looks what the hell was his name? Something with a C, right? Like, somebody just showed up who looks just like Wei. So it's obviously making Pete feel some kind of way about it. Sorry. Sorry for the accidental pun. But obviously we don't know the full truth about what's going on there, but we can bet Tony's probably involved because Tony's still alive. He's in a wheelchair, but he's still alive, apparently, somehow. So, and he's still working, like he ain't in jail, he didn't get captured or nothing. So maybe somebody, a police officer, was on the take and got him out, whatever. But he's here. He captured a couple of people. Who did he capture? I think Dean and well, obviously Kenta, but he captured Dean too, and I feel like there was a third person, wasn't there? Either way, what's his name? Winner. That's right. So he had Kenta, Dean, and Winner. Dean ran out. Appeared to have gotten shot, but didn't. So he's back with the gang. Somehow, all is about to be forgiven, even though he totally tried to murder Babe, but whatever. And yeah, just a mess over there. But we have Kenta, who also got away, but like he also has, like, you know, reached his limit with Tony. Like, he's no longer afraid of Tony. Like, he's been so hurt and just experienced so much violence at the hands of Tony that he's at the point where he doesn't care. He doesn't care about his own life. He doesn't care about, like, mouthing off to this man. Just do what you gonna do, sir. Like, he doesn't care anymore. And of course, because of that, Tony decided to let him go as a lesson, you know? So he's gonna... Because Tony derives pleasure out of the people that he's hurting having a reaction. So Kenta not having a reaction, no longer having anything to lose, doesn't serve the purpose of his ego. So, you know, he's going to try and send him out until he has something to lose, and then take that in order to, you know, control him. Anyway, so Kenta's out there. We don't know what he's going to do next, but, you know, he's free for the moment, let's say. Meanwhile, with Charlie and Babe, Charlie's still trying to, you know, help Pete find a cure, but it's taking him away from Babe, and Babe is stressing out because he still doesn't have his powers back because he and Charlie are back together, and so they're doing their thing together, so obviously all the powers transferred over to Charlie. And then Babe is, like, you know, off his game for a variety of reasons, and this new kid came up and beat him on the track, so he's feeling, you know, really, you know, I don't want to say like a failure, but he takes everything to the extreme when it comes to racing and being number one and the best, and, you know, the one who always wins, king of the lanes, whatever it's called. Pit Babe, you know. So he he lost for the first time in a long time, and so he's feeling really anxious. And then this guy is, like, I don't know, obviously up to no good, and is flirting with him, but we know it has an agenda, so, you know, what's your game, sir? And then, Jeff's visions are getting more and more severe. He's bleeding from the nose and everything. He was able to, like, hold them off or control them and suppress them previously, but now it's no longer working. And so they're flooding back, and he's, you know, obviously having, like, adverse physical effects from it. So, Yeah. So the need for the cure to get rid of powers is becoming more and more urgent for our team. But all right, I've recapped enough. Let's actually watch the episode. Why did this make me think of The Walking Dead, the season 1 finale, where they saw the MRI of the zombie brain?
ผมเพิ่งมารู้วันนี้ว่ามันเป็นความเจ็บเดียวกันกับที่พี่เบฟโดนรถชน
So yeah, he started feeling the pain of the person in the vision, which it could be dangerous because what if he sees somebody dying? Is he gonna die?
ถ้าร่างกายของคุณบาดเจ็บจากการเห็นอนาคตได้แบบนี้ผมว่าไม่ใช่สัญญาณที่ดีเท่าไหร่นะ
Yeah, what happens if he sees somebody dying? Like
เรื่อง
truly.
ใหญ่ขนาดนี้
Yeah, he's mad because you didn't tell him. Yeah.
บอกลุงไปลุงก็ช่วยอะไรไม่ได้หรอกครับ
It doesn't matter. You still should tell
แต่
him.
ตอนนี้ผมไม่เป็นอะไรแล้วนะผมแค่รู้สึกไม่ได้ใจ
หรือตายจริงขึ้นมาก่อนหรือไงถึงจะบอกกันได้อะ
Totally valid
ลุง
to say. Like
ลุง
you're supposed to be partners.
Lung.
You're supposed to share with each other.
เชฟ
At the very least,
ยืนอยู่
him.
ทำไมรีบตามพี่อรันไปสิ
All right, sir. Sorry, I still haven't forgiven him for the wrench to Babe's head. So sorry. That shit was so fucked up.
เป็นลูกหมาบ็อกแบ็กเดี๋ยวนี้โตเป็นรอตไวเลอร์แล้วเหรอฮะ
I mean, I think he's kind of always been that. Like Loki. What you thinking about, babe? I want to see him absorb other powers. Like, because he doesn't lose the powers, like, as he absorbs them, right? Like, he just, caches them. Like, they stay with him as he absorbs them. But then again, he'd have to, like, be in, like, repeated physical contact with somebody in order to do that. And he's not going to do that with anybody. Right? Maybe his power will evolve and he'll be able to take and give them at will, My Hero Academia style. What was his name? It's been a long time since I watched My Hero Academia. The guy who could stack powers. The villain. Not All for One. That's your boy. Is it One for All? It might have just been One for All. Right? Because they were like opposites of each other.
หน้าผมยังไม่มองเลยอ่ะผมไม่เคยเห็นลุงโกรธขนาดนี้มาก่อนเลยอ่ะ
I mean, it concerns your life too.
ถ้าพี่เบฟปิดบังเรื่องใหญ่ขนาดนี้กับฉันนะฉันก็คงรู้สึกเหมือนกันอะ
A crazy thing to say given how season 1 was. I still haven't forgotten how much Charlie lied to Babe. But then again, hopefully he has learned from that, and he's no longer going to do that kind of crazy shit to Babe anymore.
สักทีเถอะพี่แค่บอกว่าปกติ
มึงให้พูดตรงๆอะมีเซ็กกันอะ
Look at sis in the back like, ooh.
ไม่ให้หมอแกพี่อะไร
Look at her. This shit was so funny.
มีเซ็กกันอะ
Did he look at her first?
เวลาง้อกัน
Wait. Yeah, he looked at her.
มึงให้พูดตรงๆอะ
And then he looked at her again. He said that for her benefit.
ก็ฉันว่าวิธีนี้ไม่ให้หมอแกพี่อะไร
Yeah, that's true.
ตอนนี้
Also,
ใช้กับผม
let's
ได้
be honest. Charlie and Babe have a communication problem.
ก่อนแกจะไปง้อแฟนแก
So going to them to learn how to communicate, I don't know if this is the right plan, Jeff.
ท่านครับ
The way his hair has gotten more voluminous He's a handsome man. I mean, I hate Tony, but he's a handsome man, and his hair is like luscious.
ให้ผมไปจัดการให้ไหมครับ
What is this, a package?
คุณโทนี่บอกให้ผมเรียนรู้งานกับคุณ ผมจะได้ขึ้นเป็นมือขวาแทนนายเคน
Like a package sorting area? This looks like, okay, FYI, I used to work for UPS in the factory, like in the package, you know, one of the package distribution centers, basically. So I don't know, but this looks like one of those places where the packages come into the trucks and like some kind of distribution
แต่คุณ
center.
โทนี่
Yeah, like this is where the trucks show up
ติดตามฉันไปนานๆเนี่ย
and the belts coming
เดี๋ยว
down.
ก็เป็นเอง
ครับ
Looks like where the oversized packages would go, like, you know, 90 pounds and up.
ก็ให้ผมดูแลพี่แก้ขัดไปก่อนได้ไหมล่ะ
No. Now get out.
ไปไหนก็ไปไป
Oh, damn. Damn. Is that his special ability? Is he also an alpha and he has like super speed or something like that? That was crazy. Or teleportation. Is that his power?
จะรีบไล่ผมไปไหนล่ะครับพี่เบฟ
Ooh, there's Charlie.
ทำไรน่ะ
ชาลี
What a dick.
ครับ
He should definitely absorb his power because that teleportation shit, that super speed shit was cool. Take his power. Leave him with
ผม
nothing.
ไม่น่าห่างพี่เลยอ่ะ ไม่งั้นต้องช่วยพี่ได้เร็วกว่านี้อะ
ไอ้วิลลี่เนี่ย ไม่มีอะไรดีมากกว่ามึงเลย
Truly, the shit that you guys have been through throughout season 1 is so crazy. Like, the trauma bond is real. There's just no way this rando guy coming out of nowhere is actually gonna horn in on what you got. Like, you'll be fine. But, you know, obviously, you know, sometimes you feel insecure. But you all know me. I'm not a huge fan of jealousy plots. As long as it doesn't go on too long, I'll be fine though.
ดีมาก
Alright, what's up? Oh, there's Kenta.
เคนตะ
Kiss on the mouth! No, I know they're not gonna kiss on the
มึง
mouth.
คงรู้เรื่องที่พวกกูออกมาจาก
Unfortunately.
คุกแล้วใช่ไหม
แล้วตอนนี้มึงทำงานให้กับใคร
กูไม่ได้ทำงานให้ใครทั้งนั้น กูถึงหนีมานี่ไง
Yeah, he just here.
มึงหนีกันเหรอ
มึงกลับมาแล้ว
Alright, so we've told the team that Tony's still alive. Not just alive, but out here, you know, plotting. Oh, this looks like some back alley stuff. What is he trying to do? Create powers or something?
หรือว่าไอ้โทนี่ มันมีพลังอะไรหรือเปล่าที่ทำให้มันรอดตาย
ผมก็ยังไม่เคยได้ยิน ว่ามีพลังวิเศษอะไรแบบนั้นมาก่อน
Don't
แต่
mean
พว
it
กเราทุก
doesn't
คนที่
exist.
เป็นเด็กบ้านตระกูลเฉิน ก็ไม่เคยมีใครรู้มาก่อนใช่ไหมล่ะครับ
Alright, like, yeah.
ว่าโทนี่มีพลังพิเศษอะไร
ต่อให้แม่งฟื้นอีกกี่ร้อยรอบเนี่ย
We'll just kill him 100
กูไม่
times.
กลัวมันหรอก
Like,
กู
good
แค่
luck.
มาเตือนว่าให้ระวังตัวไว้หน่อย เพราะว่าถ้ากูเดาไม่ผิดเนี่ย ที่มึงอยู่ในสภาพนี้ ก็เพอโทนี่นั่นแหละ
Alright. You said your piece, brother. Now let's leave this fucking country and never look back. Live your life, Kenta.
กูเพิ่งออกจากโรงพยาบาลเองนะ
Please, we all know that you're gonna bang. You guys have sex so much. It's literally the way that you communicate with each other. You don't talk, you just fuck it out.
นี่พี่คิดถึงรางวัลแบบไหนเนี่ย
ก็รางวัลแบบแต่ฉันแยกแยะเรื่องงานกับเรื่องส่วนตัวได้ทำไม หรือว่าแกยังมีอะไรปิดบังฉันอีก
Just go home with him and talk it
ผม
out.
ไม่มีอะไรปิดบังลงซะหน่อย
แล้วเรื่องที่โทนี่ฟื้นอ่ะ แกไม่ได้รู้ก่อนใช่ไหม
Oh,
เรื่องนั้นผมไม่รู้จริงๆ
crazy. That's a crazy thing to say,
อย่า
sir.
เหมารวมได้ไหมครับ
ทำไงได้ ก็ฉันไม่รู้ว่าจะเชื่ออะไรที่แกพูดได้บ้าง
All right, you're dragging it because that's crazy. That's a crazy thing to accuse him of knowing. Like, his powers coming back and maybe hurting him is a very private situation. He would never keep Tony still being alive a secret. If he truly thought that Tony was alive.
แบบเนี้ยผมว่าเราต้องหาด้วยเว้ยว่าใครคือลูกน้องที่แม่งสั่งมา
Yeah, who's working for him?
นี่
And
ไง
then
ลุง
trace it back.
ลุงก็ลองถามเจฟดิ มันกลับมาเห็นอนาคต
And
ได้
then next time when y'all kill this man, throw his body into a wood chipper and then take the little pieces and burn the pieces in a furnace. And then you'll be sure he's dead. Just saying. Don't be calling the cops. Just take care of it yourself.
ให้มันลองนึกดูดีๆเผื่อจะ
Then burn the wood chipper
น่า
after.
ทำร้ายนะ แค่เงาก็ยังดีนะ
I'd wager, quite frankly, that it's more important than some race car driving. I'm so sorry. But this is life and death out here. I know people can die on the racetrack, obviously. But what I'm saying is, like, this is just a sport. It's just a sport. Like, us trying to figure out a way to nullify abilities would impact literally millions of people, potentially, around the world who are being harmed by their own powers, you know? How many alphas out there maybe even died because of their powers?
ไหวสิครับกูน่ะผิดเบ็บนะ
Mm.
ลืมแล้วเหรอ
Yeah, but you be
คุณพี่
crashing
ต้อง
out
พักผ่อนเยอะๆนะครับ
a lot. Not a lot, but you've
Yeah,
crashed out
yeah.
multiple times and almost died, so
นี่เป็นแฟนค
he
รับ
has a right to be worried.
แฟนเหรอ
But you gotta let him do what he's gonna do, so there's that.
ไม่มีเลย
เมื่อผมหาทางหนีที่ไล่ได้เมื่อไหร่ผมจะ
Yeah, we gotta set up this couple. Obviously, I know that they're going to be the pairing. Kenta and why can't I think of his name? He's right in front of me. I feel so bad. I'm terrible with names. You know that, y'all. Anyway, these two. Obviously, they're setting these two up. But which I'm fine with because they had a couple of moments in the first season, so I can see it expanding in this season as long as we give it its due. You know, I'm here for it. But what's gonna prevent them from going to Korea? Because something's gonna happen.
ที่ผมคิดว่าจะช่วยเหลือเคนตะได้
Did Kenta beef up between season 1 and season 2? Because his tits are crazy right now. Like, look at his titties. Oh my god, y'all. He's so beefy right now. Is it the angle? This tight shirt? Oh my goodness. Yeah, give me that pseudoscience. I tell you what, they worked overtime on these graphics, this HUD, whatever. Like, they worked overtime on this. This is nice. I like to, you may not know this about me if this is the first time watching me, but I like to pause and read like fake screens and fake articles and stuff like that to see how much work the prop department put into it. I don't mind if they, yada yada it or anything like that. But like when they go overboard and like really lean in, you can tell, Like, this is nice. This is a good... Now, obviously, none of this means nothing. They got, like a DNA strand spinning here, some, like, EKG stuff here, like, 5 different ways to look at his brain here, and then another couple here, like, 4 ways to look at his heart. We don't know what it's reading. Full body scan and everything, like he's in an MRI, even though he's definitely not in an MRI right now. Like, they worked overtime on this one.
ขนาดไหนเนี่ยนะครับ ก็หนีความตายไม่พ้นหรอกครับหรือว่าคุณพีทเนี่ยเคยเจอกับอัลฟาพิเศษที่มีทักษะอะไรแบบนั้นด้วยเหรอครับ
เปล่าหรอกครับ ผมแค่ถามเฉยๆ
Well, you two are enigmas, so is it an enigma power? Maybe, because like we have what? Like we have these two are enigmas, right? And then we have Charlie and Babe, who are both alphas. I want to say one of either Sonic or North. I don't know. I think North. Can't remember which one of them is an alpha and one of them is an omega, right? And then Jeff is an omega and Alan is an alpha, right? And I think Kenta and Kim, I think they both are betas, right? Kim's not an alpha. Kenta's definitely a beta, but Kim is not an alpha, right? Like he's a beta as well, right? But like what I'm saying is that because we all thought, like, I'm gonna be honest, all throughout season 1, I had absolutely no clue that they were gonna go the route of, well, that's because they weren't. This is a season 2 rewrite between seasons kind of thing. But like, I genuinely considered Tony to just be a beta that whole season, but just, cruel and sadistic and able to manipulate and control others. But in reality, he had absolutely no powers himself. But what they're basically implying is that maybe he has a power. I don't know if we're confirming it, though. This is just their speculation, right? Like, it could be that Tony just, as always, is just a beta. But either way, but I could see him being an alpha with a specific power that he kept secret, or an enigma himself, or something like that. Again, but I wondered if maybe his ability, if he does have an ability, it's not about him being an alpha, but him being an enigma or something. North. So North, I think, is the alpha, and he's the omega.
มันก็ต้องพึ่งสิ่งศักดิ์สิทธิ์แล้วไหมวะแต่มึงบอกมึงซ้อมมาเต็มที่แล้วไม่ใช่หรือไงไอ้ซ้อมก็ส่วนซ้อมแต่ขวัญกำลังใจตอนแข่งจริงอ่ะมันก็อีกเรื่องนึงเว้ยโทนี่นี่นัดแรกของกูในฐานะนักแข่งชุดใหญ่เลยนะ
You've raced before, baby. Just, take us, be chill.
แม่งก็ติดนี้ไว้
I was about to say take it slow, but that's not what you want to do during a race.
มึงจะคิดได้
Does that say Hanuman? It does. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of it because I recently rewatched the first Black Panther, and obviously, what is his name? M'Baku, his people worship Hanuman. But Hanuman is like a Hindu god, right? something like that, from India.
อาการเป็นไงบ้างครับพี่เบฟ
They definitely have gotten more dynamic with the filming of the races. Ooh, not a spin out.
โอเคไหมโอเคไหม
How did he get there before the rescue car?
ชาลี
All
โอเค
right.
ไหม
เซน
He ain't got no sense no more.
ผมคิดว่าเซนผมหายไปแล้วอะ
All right. Is the sense going to go back to Babe now, or is it a situation where? Sorry, gotta let it refocus on my face. There we go. Is the sense going to go back to Babe now, or is it, just like temporarily suppressed in Charlie still? Something happened. We saw it. So. I don't know. I mean, our end goal is still to try and find a way to cure the abilities, so it was always going to end up with Charlie no longer having the ability in the first place, but, the problem is that they don't know how it happened, and it happened in the middle of a race, and he wasn't prepared for it, and it's clearly some kind of scheme that Willie is up to. Willie is so sus. He's so obviously sus. It would actually be more shocking if he wasn't working for Tony. I think that would be the bigger plot twist, the bigger gag. I guess the real question is why and what is his agenda? Like, even if he is working for Tony, what is his agenda? Is he a true believer in Tony, or is he another kid that Tony groomed, and we need to be rescuing Willie from out of the clutches of this evil man, That's the real question for me. Because regardless of everything, I can't blame him for, living under the thumb of Tony, given how we know how that is and what it can do to you. Like, we have a plethora of examples of people who were groomed by him. So, I'm just always going to have at least a little bit of sympathy. But it also depends on your own agenda and how you then act on things. Like, so there's sympathy up to a point. But I guess switching gears a little bit to talk about Kenta, who also was with Tony probably the longest, and did some of the worst things for Tony, and came out the other side, or is starting to come out the other side. Obviously we're pairing him up with Kim in order to kickstart that romance. Because they're paired up together in other shows, right? Like, I haven't watched them in anything else, I don't think. Because I haven't watched Long Bean with the actors who played Jeff and Alan. I haven't watched that yet. I don't know. The premise didn't appeal to me. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Like, I read the premise and I was like, Like, I know I've seen the clips and I've seen the GIFs and everything like that, and I know it's very saucy, but it still wasn't very interesting to me. So I'm more interested in whatever they have coming up next. I'm sure they'll have something. But either way, Kenta and Kim, those actors are going to be paired together going forward, I do believe. So it makes sense to pair them up here and really let us see their chemistry and their energy, to see if they're viable to head up their own show. I'm excited to see it because I like both those actors. you know, and I enjoyed both those characters in season 1. Like season 1, I look back, you know, when I was watching season 1, I think I was very, I don't want to say I was harsh because I wasn't harsh, but you know, I wasn't very relaxed watching some of it. And some stuff really annoyed me, and it still does, even when I rewatch it. But I have a lot of affection for the characters, for the most part. Not all the characters, but for the most part, most of the characters, I have affection for them. So I don't know. I'm taking season 2 a little bit more, you know. I think I'm being a little less critical in my thinking with season 2 because I'm already in with the characters, so I just kind of want to see them doing their thing. So I'm gonna enjoy, I think, Kenta and Kim together. They're gonna have this like little, you know, slightly antagonistic situation, because let's not forget that when Kim was kidnapped by Tony, Kenta was the one who was in there like beating him and shit like that, and was his right hand man. So that's Kim's memory of Kenta, is that. More than, I mean, obviously he was, if I remember, yeah, he was there when Kenta stabbed Tony, but still, I think his enduring memory was being captured by Kenta and him being one of the people that held him captive while he was being like beaten and tortured and shit like that. And they were threatening to cut his organs out. Remember that? And sell his organs on the black market? Oof, oof. So we got a lot of ways to go when it comes to their relationship and moving them forward after that kind of beginning. So I'm sure we'll get some fun hijinks out of these two being paired together when they technically don't really like each other. But you know, there's a part of me that's like, okay, Kenta has such a history with everyone else from childhood, right? That it makes sense to me for him to be paired up with somebody that he doesn't have that kind of baggage with. He has a little bit of baggage that's more recent, but he doesn't have, you know, 15 years of baggage with Kim. So it's kind of a fresh start for him a little bit in a lot of ways. And I hope it continues to be so, because as you all know, Kenta's kind of low-key my favorite side character. As you know, if you've watched season 1, you'll know that. You can see that. Like, I'm pretty much a Babe first is my number 1. Then I enjoy Charlie. I actually like Charlie quite a lot. And then probably third is going to be Kenta. I like Kenta a lot. I think he's a super interesting character. Really tragic, especially in season 1. And I don't know, I was drawn to it. I was really drawn to his tragic ass character. Because he had nobody. The closest person that was on his side was Pete. That was it. And he fumbled with Pete, you know. So I'm on his side. I'm on Kenta's side. So I'm looking forward to more of that. What do we think about the experiments Tony is doing? Like, I just feel like it's got to be something to do with either giving people power so he can traffic people again, without all the hassle of having to raise kids for like 20 years before they're useful of it. Well, no, because he was selling kids. So, it's not even 20 years, like 10 years, let's say. 5 to 10 years of raising the child before he can sell the child on the black market. I do not miss watching these kids get trafficked. My goodness. But anyway, maybe he's trying to shortcut it by just giving people powers willy-nilly and then selling them. Or maybe he's trying to do the same thing that Pete's doing, which is find a way to get rid of somebody's powers so that he can get rid of the powers of the people he's trying to punish, maybe? I don't know. How long do we think this argument between Jeff and Alan is going to go? I hope it ends next episode, because it's already starting to grate a little bit. Like, just sit down and talk. Just sit down and talk. Like, what he did was wrong, sure, but I feel like we're dragging it. I'm already annoyed. I feel bad. But I'm hoping that next episode they can resolve it so we can move on to the next phase. I just don't want the conflict to go beyond next episode. And I hope it doesn't. So, what else? What else happened? We talked about this new Willie character. Obviously, the insecurity between Charlie and Babe makes sense for Charlie's side because this is his first relationship, and you know things have not been easy for either of them in this relationship. So, I understand why he's anxious and struggling. But like you all know, if you've watched my shows, I can enjoy jealousy plots for a certain time, and then they stop being enjoyable and start being annoying. We haven't reached that yet with this show. I think it's partially because they all now know about Willie and probably feel like he's up to no good. They might even suspect him, like they suspect him of harming Babe. So now, with Tony back in the mix, they probably suspect him of working for Tony. So I feel like the jealousy part of it is not going to last long, and it's more going to be about, is he working for Tony or is he not? Is he our enemy? Full on. So, yeah. All right. I think that's everything I want to say for this episode. Looking forward to the next one. Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Going over to Patreon if you're interested in full-length early access to this show, as well as full-length early access to other shows. Right now, in terms of what I'm watching Us, the series, GL. Also, I'm watching just starting Whale Store, XOXO, another GL. I just finished up Petrichor over on Patreon exclusive for that one, at least for right now. What else? I'm starting another, at least for right now, Patreon exclusive, Desire, the series, the other Omegaverse series that's airing right now, C-drama, ABO Desire, whatever. I'm starting that, as I'm filming this, I'm starting that this week, over on Patreon, 1 episode a week. And then I'll eventually get it up on YouTube. I'm sure I've seen a few reactions on YouTube, so I'm sure I'll be able to edit and cut it and put it up on YouTube for you guys. But full length will be up on Patreon. What else? I'm wrapping up the C-drama Love Between Fairy and Devil. And then I'm replacing it with the story of Kuning Palace after. So that'll be the next thing that I start releasing 2 a week, should be, because it's a long one. It's like 40 episodes, something like that. So yeah, we're gonna do 2 a week, just like we did Love Between Fairy and Devil. I tried doing the once a week with a C-drama with Till the End of the Moon, and it took such a long time to get all of that up on Patreon. Oh my god. So once a week is not happening. 2 a week at least. So check out that. And then I'm wrapping up The Next Prince. If you're watching this, I've already wrapped up The Next Prince, so that's all out. If you're watching this on YouTube, then it should all be out on YouTube as well. So I don't know what I'm going to replace anything with yet. As I get close to the end of a show, I usually either put up a poll or just make my own decision on what I want to watch next. So, you guys can, look forward to some different shows. I have a variety, I've been in the mood for a Japanese show recently, so I might watch that. I don't know if I'll release it yet, but I'll at least watch one, maybe. I have to shop around for a Japanese show that I really want to watch. Not necessarily a BL or a GL. It might just be like, a general show or like a slice of life or something, but I don't know. I've just been in the mood, so. All right. That's enough shop talk. I'll go ahead and end it there. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Baby, it's whatever. All this ever but you longer.